Guys, today we got my boy here. He's like my brother from another mother. Jerome. He's a legend. Jerome, how you doing, man? We're gonna
True.
triangulate down on your personality type. It seems as though people think you're either ESTP, ESTJ, or ENTP. So we're gonna figure it out today, man. They all think you're Enneagram 3, which means you're all about vanity. All about your looks. I can agree with that. You know, I could definitely agree that Jerome's all about his style. You know, Jerome always has his shoes matching when we used to go to the gym and shit. Uh, Shorts and shoes matching and shit. I was like, look at this guy, man. But Jerome, man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. Had to get up super early for work and took a nice long nap. Woke up right before this meeting. Had some coffee.
He said has a coffee. So what's your plans today, man?
Well, I think another one of my sisters had a baby, so there's 12 now.
12.
Brother was coming over to meet her, and then I think him and his wife and his kids are gonna come by and go hang out and go get something to eat. Probably go to the gym. Maybe take another nap. Not too much.
Hey, how much are you benching now?
450.
450. Holy shit, man. You think you're gonna get the 500 club?
I'd like to. We'll see.
Fucking joints, man. Every time, dude. I got about I was up to 420 and the fucking joints, man. It's like,
yeah, I try not to push it super hard too much because I start feeling that in the tendons.
Yeah, like right in the elbow area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it kind of in the shoulder or something through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how's the bodybuilding shows going? When is your next one?
Well, my last one was last year. It was the Tampa Pro, which was actually just this year. It was last weekend. I'm always asked that, but I planned on. I'm not going to compete again till 2024. It'll be August. It'll be the Tampa Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Just because things changed. I got that CPAP in the beginning of the year. Like it's like max help me breathe at night. Man, that's made a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I just grow in that. Plus, got a lot of trips with the wife planned. So I'm just enjoying the workouts and all the food. And she says when I started getting ready for shows, you gotta like carry me around like a little egg. So it was sensitive.
How'd you get into bodybuilding, and like how'd you figure out what you needed to do to get into the shape you're in?
Well, it kind of started like 10 years ago. I actually got I quit drinking alcohol, and I started going back to the gym. I used to be an athlete and work out all the time, and I was going to the gym consistently, and there was a guy in there, an older guy, and he was into that, and he was a trainer too, so I started working out with him, and then he like was telling me, oh, you should try doing a show. And I always thought like, no way, man, I'd never get in like a little man bikini and prance around on stage. I was like a big jock, and finally I don't know, I did it, and it was weird the first time or two, especially when you go get like spray tanned, because you walk in a room and there's all like everyone's naked, all they have in there is a bag of baby socks. Just put on your dick. And it's pretty funny. And like maybe the first time or two you do it, and I see everyone, they're trying to keep it on. And after doing a few of them, you just run it. Walk in there, you drop your clothes. You're just totally used to it. You just stand like, all right, I'm ready. I don't know. I don't really follow bodybuilding. I'm not like super into it. I can't tell you who all the stars in that world are. I like sports. And then to me, it's not really a sport. It's more like a pageant. It's kind of, but I don't know. I like the challenge of like making myself into like a bronze statue. It's just, I don't know. It's something to work towards, when you plan a date and that, and you want to have yourself at a certain condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just like that. Mm-hmm. The whole like bodybuilding world, I'm not really that interested in it. In fact, when I'm there, I don't really even talk to the other people competing because it's the same crap about the food and how they felt and all this. I don't really care. I can't really relate to them because none of them were athletes. Most of them, like half the dudes have like lifts and like they're all short, and I could tell none of them played sports. You know, there was some complex that made them do this. Like, and I usually end up hanging out with the girls that run the spray tan stuff. We're talking about dogs and our families, and but I don't know. I guess I enjoy it. Something to do. I mean, it's a little more than a hobby because it's like we're 24/7.
Yeah. So, did you ever think you'd be this big, or any like? Did you ever think like was this planned for you?
I was always fairly big, but like, no, I didn't think I could get to where I am now because I was working so hard for the last 5-6 years, and I was want to be like, man, if I could just be like 245, and I don't know, it just seemed like it was harder for me. And then, like I said, I did I found I had really bad sleep apnea, like real bad. Like my blood oxygen level was dropping to 73% at night when they did the studies. I was like, wow. And then as soon as I got that in the beginning of this year, I don't know, I probably gained like 10 pounds of solid muscle, like, which would take me years. In the past, it was not possible. My body could not maintain that level. Immediately, like within the first week, that I was like waking up, everything was tighter, and now I wasn't all bloated, just from getting real sleep. So a huge difference. So now I don't really know what is possible. So I'm pretty excited about the end of next year. Like,
because I've seen your pictures, man. You got fucking massive. Like, you already a big dude, but now you're like fucking dude. You're a big fucking guy now, dude. Fucking 255.
I've had a lot of people say, you don't always see it yourself, but then when you're walking around and like other dudes in the gym, they start looking smaller, and then like 20 or 25 people tell you look massive. I'm like, all right. So, and I could tell actually just looking in the mirror, it's just like my arms are starting to fill out more and look normal on my torso. And so it's probably so boring for her.
Now, the surprising thing was that a lot of people don't know the crazy thing about Jerome is he's very smart. Jerome, tell him about how you were going to get your PhD, man. Tell him about that route.
All right. Yeah. So I'm a Gator. I went to University of Florida. So I started off like everyone, like pre-med. There's all the pre-med and pre-law, and then they crush you, and that fills up the business school. And it wasn't that it crushed me. I just took I was doing all my sciences, and I took an elective course, and it was like something super simple, like bugs and people, and the professor was real cool in that, so I mean, I stayed in all the sciences, but I changed my track to entomology and nematology, which is, nobody even really knows what nematodes are. They're little microscopic unsegmented roundworms. They live in the soil, they feed on plants and other stuff to help break things down. That and insects, with a focus on plant protection. So I got into that, and then when I was in there were a lot of split level courses with grad students, and I liked some of the programs they were in. A lot of times I was the only undergrad in there. So then did a master's in plant pathology, and then I was about almost done my doctorate in plant medicine. I never took the cumes because a new director came in. She wanted me to take her class. It was some bullshit. Jump through some extra hoops. Fucking course, put me in her class. It was some stupid online thing about like biosecurity issues and like fucking zoos and stuff. Had nothing to do. It's just stupid. But I was working full time already at a golf course, and knew that's what I wanted to do. And honestly, man, most people don't know what that degree really is. And at that level, I knew so much. Like the director of golf for the city of St. Pete was calling me the mad scientist. Like, and they were taking advice from me on our fungicide program, and that. Now I run all of it, but so it was a lot of school, like 10 years.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, but Jerome's like really, really.
Nah, you wouldn't know. You'd probably just think I was some dumb jock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed very early on when I was with Jerome. Like, this guy's actually fucking smart. Like, this guy is like, he may look like he's a huge guy, but he's actually very fucking smart. Man, what'd you have planned for yourself when you were a kid? What'd you want to be?
Oh man, I don't know if anyone really knows. Just I guess I thought I'd maybe be a doctor. My dad was a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I come from, but I mean, he had brothers in that, man. They were like judges and doctors, and some have multiple, brain doctors. There's some smart people.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was a nurse practitioner. So I thought maybe medicine. I feel like nobody really knows when they first get into college. That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
overwhelming. They don't even tell you what's out there, really.
Mm-hmm.
Either probably think whatever someone's doing in your family, or somebody knows for sure, and they're already ahead of the game
Mm-hmm.
on what they do. But you just kind of just sort of found my way through school. I knew sciences, but then it just like one thing led to another. But it all worked out because I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
This is awesome. Yeah. I mean, Jerome, what does a normal weekend look like for you?
A weekend?
Yeah.
Oh man, I probably work. So I'm a golf course superintendent. So we get up super early. So I wake up today I got up at 2:30 in the morning. I get up between 2:30 and 4 a.m. and I work this month. I haven't had a day off in a month. Let's see. So even on weekends, like we had a tournament. So I was in there from 3:30 to 7:30 this morning. And then I came home, I took like a 2.5 hour nap before this. So usually a nap, and then it depends on what my wife's schedule is. I mean, my time off I spend with her.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll make plans. We'll go out to dinner. We'll go out on the boat. Last weekend, we went for a walk on the beach. Maybe some family stuff. I might do a workout on a weekend, or maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's our free time. We're both super busy, so most of the time we work a lot, and then we have like big trips planned.
How do you feel about being told what to do?
Being told what to do. Well, when I was younger and like it's coaching, I had no problem with that, even when it was like in your face. At work, it depends on how it's said to you or said to me. I don't mind it when my wife, I mean, she doesn't ask me to do things. I have no problem. I like that. But when she's out working, she doesn't really need to ask me. It depends. Is it for the greater good? Is it on how the person is asking or telling you?
Mm-hmm. How you deal with authority, Jerome?
I mean, I respect it. I had to work under it. Now at work, I am the authority. But when I was younger, I did not like police officers. But since I'm in the gym all the time, there's a whole bunch of dudes that are like my age that I realize they're all like sheriffs and stuff. And they're all like really good guys. No, there are my eggs. There are bad ones out there, and they tell me about them. But
what made you not like them? Like when you were younger?
I was fucking degenerate because I was breaking the law and doing bad things. And when you are a law-abiding citizen, you appreciate what they do. Their job's tough, man. Most people don't like them.
It sounds degenerate breaking the law. True, man.
I told you, I quit. I got sober 10 years ago. It wasn't because I was on a winning streak.
Hey, Jerome, what do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I'd hope at least double my salary. I'll be working just as much. still be traveling. I'm, it depends on what the market's doing, whether buy a house. I mean, I know we're happy where we live, but possibly buying a house. There's no kids in the future for me. I got 12 nieces and nephews and another one on the way. We're very happy with our lifestyle.
You don't want any kids?
Nah, no.
So how'd you come to that? Like, a lot of people usually want kids, especially like, guys who are like athletes and whatnot. They all like, they generally want kids. So, why somebody like you don't want kids?
That was a deal when I started dating my wife, and consider Barrens, she's a little older than me, and she's had her kids, so there could be complications from that, and we work a lot, and we like to travel and do what we like to do. So I mean, I see it, and I get I like to borrow my nieces and nephews and take them to this good stuff, and it's a lot of fun, but then I get to drop them off. There's also a lot of times where it's not so fun. I've seen my sisters at my mom's house bawling, crying. And I think I knew one time when a couple of my nephews were very young, my sister left them with me. And man, I must have been an hour and a half, 2 hours in. I was calling her practically crying, like, when are you coming back? Because the one was of age where he could move around. So he's running around tearing everything up. And the other one's just a baby. And he's in that phase where you have to be walking up, like standing up, moving around, walking and doing this. And he was calm. The second, if I tried to like relax or stop and start crying, then about an hour and a half, 2 hours of that, and I was broken. And I don't know, I feel like I get the joy, and I feel the love for them. I imagine it'd be totally different if it was your own, but I'm extremely happy in my life and what I have with my wife. So
awesome, man. So Jerome, what are the best periods of your life look like?
The best what?
Periods of your life look like?
Years?
Yeah. What would you say the best period of your life is?
Oh, the best period.
Yeah. Like time periods.
Oh, dude, it's definitely right now. It's awesome. Like a grown man, you got your own money. Like we could just go on a trip across the world. Like, college and all that was fun, but everyone was broke. And, you still are really kind of relying on your family and stuff. And everyone in the world looks at you like, a grown man. People calling you sir, and it's just different. I don't know, maybe it's because I got some grays on the side, but I also feel like I'm in my prime. Like, a lot, like I said, I take care of myself. I like how I look. I'm not like 40 and I'm like, oh man, back when I was 20 something. I hear a lot of that shit. Like, man, that's bullshit. And when people tell me they don't have time to work out, and that, like, that's also bull. If you have kids, I understand. If you don't, dude, there's nothing stopping you. I get up at 2, 3 in the morning, work my ass off in the sun, and I come hit the gym for 2 hours, come get my food ready and all that, and get to bed early. That does it, you gotta sleep.
Yeah, awesome. Jerome, how were you as a kid?
Honor AP student, really good at school, kind of quiet, but I had an older brother, so I always tagged along with him. They were 3 years older than me. My nickname was the boy.
The boy.
Boy. No, I didn't. So, like I said, I was with my brother's shadow when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was not real like extroverted. I had a huge family, so I just say played a lot of sports. Man, I had a great family, great upbringing. We did, even though my dad worked a lot, my mom took care of all of us, which I still, even just seeing my sisters and that with a few kids, 1 or 2 or 3, how my mom raised 9 is insane.
It's 9 of y'all?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I got 7 sisters and a brother.
What the? I don't remember being that many of y'all. God damn.
Yeah, so like that's why I'm like building a football team with, I got 3 godchildren. All those, it's an even 6 and 6 right now. And I think the next one's a girl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so man, I'm trying to remember what the original question was. Oh, so I was quiet, man. I mean, I got really good grades. I never got in any big trouble because maybe somebody else, like in high school, my sister, who's like, I think within a year of me, that was younger than me, she'd come home blasted. And so my parents were always looking out for that. And I was the more responsible one. I was getting in, doing some bad things. I just never got, did something real stupid or got caught. Everyone's trying to go to parties when they're in high school.
Yeah.
I'd say, I mean, I was popular, but I didn't really have to say a lot.
Yeah. You did play football, right?
Yeah, I started playing. Well, I actually, the beginning of football was, I played club soccer forever. All my friends were playing that. And then there was one year I didn't make the team. I got cut. And that was like devastating for me at the time. I don't know, I was maybe in like 6th grade or something. And then there was a family friend. He had like won national titles for Notre Dame. He's a monster. This buddy of mine's dad. He played for so they talked me into, or said I went and signed up for Pop Warner Little League football. Started playing then, so I got a big head start on high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it was, I played a lot of sports. So baseball and football. It was baseball and soccer and then soccer went out, football came in. It was baseball and football until I just chose football later in high school to, be the captain and all that stuff. Because I went to a small school and most of them, like baseball, and they played year round, like in wooden bat leagues and all kinds of other shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah, Jerome, what do you want to be remembered for?
just being kind and making an impact on people's lives, man. Like that they always have a positive memory of me, and it doesn't have to be because I did something amazing or anything. Just like that guy, when we were together, we actually talked about stuff, life, and like he was interested in what was going on with me, and so that's there's not a lot of people that really you kind of just get surface level. But I also notice a lot of guys at the gym, it's like the same corny ass jokes they say to me. I'm like, dude, you want to like talk to me? We could actually like talk about shit. Don't need like these stupid one-liners like making it, it's the same 50-year-old guy saying something about how I should be doing more weight or some joke, and I don't ever find it funny. Or some corny stuff. I'm like, I don't know if that's just, but like I like people where I actually like get to know them. Like you ask them how they're doing today, and like they will tell you what is really going on. Those are the people I remember. Yeah, think like that. And that I was always willing to help somebody if they needed.
Yeah. Shirley, got anything?
What's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear. That's a tough one. I mean, I guess it would be something happening to someone close to my family. We've had some scares in the past. I mean, I think I couldn't even. Yeah, something like that would be really bad. I mean, it used to be like fear of failing and stuff like that. That's like why this is the best point in my life, because I, built myself up to a certain point of, confidence. Like I'm really good at what I do. And when you're younger, you don't know what you want to do. And then you don't know if you're established or good at it. So it's it was always a being afraid maybe of not measuring up to my father, or like in his eyes. And he passed 2 years ago. But the last 10 years since I had gotten sober have been, I was there in the end taking care of him the last few years. It was really nice. It would probably be something happening to someone in my family, because we're very close. And we still generally get together on like Sundays and that. Everyone still lives around here. I got one sister in Gainesville. She's the nurse anesthetist. She's got 3 girls. Her husband's a doctor up at Shannon's. And then there's one in Key West. But most of them are around here. So everyone gets together. Yeah, something happening like that. Because even when I hear anything from like one of my sisters about maybe one of them doing a study and having a learning disability, I feel like a little, like, I don't know, I feel this bad feeling, I don't like to hear one of my, nephews has, they're going to work through it. They're not reading at the level they should be, or it takes them a little longer.
Man, yeah. That's sounds just like you, Jerome. And what is something you would like to tell the next generation?
Man, they'll just have to learn it on their own. But I hire a lot of people, man, and like 95% of any job and anything you do is just showing up, like, showing up on time and putting in the effort. It just seems so hard for people to like have their life together in any way to make it to work on time, and then to put in like it's 8 hours of work for 8 hours of pay. Like, it's what it is, man. It's just maybe when I was in my 20s, I didn't get it either. I don't think I would have been this job particularly. It's these guys are up all night texting girls, or maybe they're out drinking or something. It's probably not easy to get up and go to work. That is really the biggest thing that separates most people when they get in the workplace. Like, just keep it together and show that level of consistency. Maybe it's just something I notice on the lower level. Because I have guys that I've changed the rules in the city where I could take guys that didn't even finish high school, because I had some guys that worked for me, and I thought they should get full time and all the benefits. So I had to go process and get it changed. Because I don't care like how far they got in school. If they can work hard and they understand and know what they're doing, they have skills, they're valuable. So I feel like too often, especially like kids in college, we go to college and we think we're going to get this bachelor's, then immediately someone's going to we're going to be showered with like job offers of $75,000 a year, like just because you got a diploma. And you have to go in and work and like prove that you are worth something,
Yeah.
All that education doesn't mean much if you can't function.
All right, there's $1 million question here, Jerome. If you could change anything, if you could go back and start over, would you? And if you would, why? And if not, why?
In my life?
Yeah.
No, man, I wouldn't change it. Like I said, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm at the peak of my life now, and I had to make every mistake I made, every bad night I had, every drink and drug I did to get me to this point. I had to hit, certain lows and bottoms to relearn, and then the biggest thing is, taking the action to change, your life for the better. And it's a, new appreciation. Right. So no, because without all that, I would, and at the time you maybe didn't see it that way. When you're sitting in a jail cell.
So if you ever went to jail, what would it be for?
What's that?
So if you ever went to jail again now, what would it be for?
Oh, if I went to jail now? Nothing, man. I don't. I don't break the law.
Never done that enough of it.
That's Jerome said, I don't break the law.
I mean, I ordered all you can eat shrimp on Sunday, and I was like anxious that I was gonna give my wife a few. I'm like, the all you can eat. It's like you're not allowed to share. And I sat this morning it was 3:00 in the morning, and the fucking light on my road to go to the golf course went through 6 cycles without giving me a turn signal. And I saw a person the week before just run through it, make that left. I don't know why I sat there for that many. I should have. Yeah.
I have radar detectors now that tell you if there's a camera on the red light.
Oh, I know in St. Pete there aren't. But I mean, I've been at that light a million times, and yeah. So
and depending on what
and I figured out the order of the lights, and I assumed this next one. I'm like, this is when I get it, and I didn't get it then. I'm like, Jesus. I don't know. It was extra. It was stupid, but
yes, you don't even make one cycle. Like, all right.
Yeah. I don't drink or drugs. I guess I mean, if it was too much speeding, I don't know. I mean, I do. There's nobody on the road, and I'm 19. I can go 80 miles an hour down to St. Pete. I guess I could get enough tickets where they could throw me in jail or something. But there's nothing else. I don't fight. I don't get that angry.
So what caused you to want to change your life? Like, you said it wasn't going well, but was there like any particular thing that
Yeah, I wasn't the man that I knew I could be or should be, and I felt like I was losing my soul, and I was doing things that I knew were wrong, and I did them anyway, and it made me feel worse about it. And in the very end, I was just about positive that I would die within a week. So that's how bad things got.
Wow. I've heard these stories sometimes, I've heard Jerome's stories where he was a menace.
And I've gone and spoken in front of hundreds of people.
Huh?
Well, there's a place for people like me, and I've gone and spoken, in front of huge groups of people, telling my story.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I look back, I kind of laugh about it, because I don't ever have to feel that way again. Do those things.
Yeah.
But I know there's, how many people are, when they're around me, I hear someone, they kind of cringe because, like, man, there was that night where I did this, and I didn't want to talk to anyone because I was blacked out, and I could tell it makes some people start evaluating themselves.
Yeah. I mean, because I remember the stories where Jerome would tell me, man, I'm about to kill this guy. I'm like, oh shit, Jerome, you're too big, dude. You're a big guy, man.
Yeah, I was a menace.
What do you think set you down that path?
I guess I would say, like, in high school, I think I felt like it made it easier. Like I told you, I was quiet, and I was sort of like follow my brother around and stuff. And then they the first parties, and that liquid courage, easy comfort. I don't know, the drink, and made social atmosphere. Because I mean, I'd say I was like a egomaniac, but with an inferiority complex. So secretly, and a lot of people, secretly are not real secure, especially when you're younger. So it's probably made things easier then. And then I'd say the biggest thing was the end of playing football when I was at Florida. And then I was just their average, student.
It hurts. I tell people all the time, like, that is the hugest drop off. Like, when people go from like being college athletes to not, and they got to assimilate with the rest of the world, but they've been told they're special all their life.
I just read something that His name was Stephen Ali. He was a Canadian. He played for the Gators. He came back to Florida and finished his degree and his PhD, and he's specializing in helping athletes after sports. And even in the professional level, I've heard, you know, some guys who are my heroes and that Mike Allstott people, that they become like alcoholics and stuff. Because there was nothing like the pure adrenaline rush of being on the football field. There was nothing like it. Not even no drugs. No. It was like, I don't know, that's like how Lawrence Taylor, you know, so he smoked crack, because when you're on the field, man, there's nothing like it. When you know, yeah, the end of sports and that's I think that's also why the gym is so important for me, and work, you know, staying busy, working, and then getting an actual physical workout. I was told I needed that kind of exercise. I can feel, even when I've had like a long day, I'm tired, I get in the gym and I'm 30 minutes in, boom, you get the dopamine and all the chemicals kicking. I feel like better. Sometimes I'll be in the first 20 minutes, I'm like, I don't want anybody to talk to me. Like, just let me get going. No, I had a conversation with a guy the other day. I'm like, dude, he comes up pouring sweat every time. And he comes up to me right when I'm doing like my first couple warm-up sets. And I worked 9 hours out in the sun, took a shower, and came here. Just let me get into my workout. And he starts talking, and just, you know, and he can tell I'm annoyed, like a little, not annoyed, I'm friendly. But this time we both laughed, because I'm like, man, you come in right in the beginning of my fucking workout every time. Get the fuck out of here. Like, well, give me 30 minutes. And he knew, and he was laughing. I wasn't like, you know, screaming at him.
Yeah.
He's an old, you know, there's like a few older guys that we always come, you know, I go to the gym so much. I know everyone there. So it's a huge gym. So, you know, and I like talking to people. So I like meeting people in there. And then, you know, there's a lot of kids in there that, I don't know, you'd say are like special. People that, you know, mistreat them or making jokes about them. But like, this is one thing they're trying to do. And I always, you know, I know all of them, and I'll talk to them, you know, and you don't know, like a nice interaction like that, what that means to somebody, you know?
Jerome, do you ever question your self-worth?
Not now. I used to all the time.
How'd that go?
Oh, dude, back then I was like, I thought I was God. So I was either like everything or total nothing. Like, either win or lose, man. It was intense. I was either worthless or the shit. And then I don't, you know, obviously I had quite a humbling experience to realize that I am not, you know, the egg of the planet. And I think not with work or anything, but I noticed I do care about how my family sees me when I'm working. Everyone's very successful. So, you know, I probably make towards the lower end of all of them, but I don't think they see me like that. I hope not. I mean, I'm not like the bum brother who needs money and stuff. I'm totally self-sufficient. And we go on very nice trips. We all have kids, so they can't. We even have a no pet policy. You know, we have a pet robot, and he cleans our floors. So that's how free we are. We named him. We also have we got a vacuum that has a name too. It's
So you got anything?
Yeah. How do you know what you're hearing is true?
How do I know what I'm hearing is true?
Yeah, like if you were to, like, if someone was trying to lie to you, how would you catch them lying?
I just meant like information.
Oh God, you mean like through social media and the news and stuff?
Yeah.
people are saying to me, like, that are close to me.
But just social media, how something's factual, like how do you go about that?
Oh, dude, it's totally either from one side or the other, and it's skewed. So if you listen to all of it, if you go listen, to the shit, and social media, there's bullshit. I don't believe any of that stuff, and that's also another huge problem because, like, I think it's giving. That's another thing, man. People got to be able to disconnect from their phones and stuff and social media, Instagram. Like, and especially like the gym stuff, all these girls and guys, they see these people, and I have to tell them, do you realize, like, to get ready for a photo shoot like that, and what you think this person is walking around normal, it's not how it is, and it's not sustainable. It takes them weeks to get their fat levels down that low, and then it's a specific peak week period where I do special things to make yourself and your skin look paper thin on that one day, or show, or their one day for a photo shoot. So they do not walk around looking like this, and that is not attainable, nor is it sustainable or healthy. And there's way too many women that are comparing themselves to this, and probably men too. Not probably, definitely. And that it's not, it's something that's not mentally healthy. So, but then the politics and all that stuff, man, no, I don't either. It's either skewed one side or another. You can listen to them both. I quit listening to that stuff because it just made me angry. There was I listened to all kinds of podcasts during the day at work, and I'd just be fuming. and I realized that does nothing. It just makes me walking around pissed off. Like, and some people, that's like a drug, man. They like to watch the news and get angry or whatever, and they like to, like, talk about it and get all pissed off, but it doesn't do anything for you. I mean, I don't see it. I don't think it's going to change anything. How me listening to it all day and getting angry about it, or happy, depending on what you want, I guess.
Is there anything you worry about, Jerome?
Yeah, man, I don't like. It really sucks. I feel like the earth is just super fucking polluted. Like, I think we're past the point. We've passed the threshold where there's like no coming back from, the greenhouse gases issue and all that. But I am a scientist. I do follow that kind of stuff, and that sucks. I just, see more hot weather and animals extinction, and dude, I feel like anywhere you go, you can't go anywhere, even if like you find an island out in the middle of nowhere, it's not just covered in trash, the beaches and stuff. Get washing up from us. I guess that is a large worldwide thing that bothers me. Yeah. I don't know. Tell me the question again. What was it? What am I?
What worries you as a person?
Oh man, I freak out if I'm running late. Yeah, like butt clenched in the car, like, even if I'm gonna be a few minutes late, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I live in a world where everyone says they're 5 minutes away and they're full of shit. I know you probably do it. Oh yeah, 5 minutes, and it's like 15 to 20. Like, dude, when I'll tell you, I am 4 minutes away. I will be in your driveway right at 4 minutes or before. Weird numbers like ETA 6 minutes.
I remember that Jerome was saying it at the gym. Like, yo, I'm like 4 minutes away. I'm like, okay, this guy, like, hey, very punctual, man. Where'd you learn that?
Getting sober.
Is it getting sober?
Fuck yeah, man. Like, it's all about that. Really has nothing to do with like the alcohol or the drugs. It's really about everything else in your life. So you do what you say you're gonna do, and you follow through. Like, full of shit anymore, you know? Like, that's why I don't, anyone, you know, it's so common now that people are like flaky and stuff. You make, man, they canceled you. I don't keep anybody like that around me because when you don't do it, you have no tolerance for it.
Yeah.
You know, if I tell you, like, if I told you last week I'd be at this meeting at 11, we could have not spoken all week and I would be here on it. Like, I knew it was coming. Like, you don't have to remind me. I don't have to, like, I know you might be getting nervous. I'm like, don't worry, I'll be there. Like, I can tell you we'll be somewhere in a month. We can meet and we can talk till then. I'll be there. Like,
yeah. Shirley, you got anything?
How do you behave when you get upset?
at work, I yell. Well, yeah, us. It's probably pretty intimidating, but and I tell my guys, you know, we're gonna get heated, but literally within 1 minute, like, it's over. You know, whatever they did, or like, I don't hold it against them. I get pissed in the moment, man. I had 2 kids. Yesterday was their last day. They were summer kids, and the one was calling in. It's your last day of work, man. Come finish the job. Like, you know, gave me some, and it's like right when the shift's starting, there's a whole process of how you call in for the city. This would be like 30 minutes for your shift. You call a specific number in our office and you leave a message. Text me some bullshit about how he's not coming in. 2 minutes later, his buddy texts me some crap. Man, I blow his phone up. I'm like, get the fuck in here right now. Then 5 minutes later, he was at work. He just heard and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm like, hell no. I called him and he tried ducking that. I'm like, yeah, I know you saw that phone call. I called you again. And he answered and I was like, get your ass in here. But I was real pissed. But then I was happy he came, you know, helped us. With my wife, and then I might get a little quiet, but we do let that stuff, we don't ever have screaming matches or anything. But if I get a little butthurt, I might get a little quiet or something. She can tell, and then we talk about it.
You think you get passive aggressive or anything?
No. With my wife? No. I don't. I hate that. Man.
Yeah.
I really like when people do that. We're more direct to the point, man. She'll say it. She doesn't get that way either. Like, we will discuss it.
It's irritating. I agree.
Jerome, man, you seem like a very empathetic person. You seem like a very empathetic person, man. Where did you pick that up at?
I think from my parents.
Yeah.
We did a lot of service work growing up, even like when I was very young. I didn't understand it then. When, you know, my mom started taking us to St. Vincent de Paul Soup Kitchen. In the beginning, we were just like folding silverware and stuff there, and then you 200, used to be like 300 people come through and serve them food. These are people that are living on the streets. It was once a month. Did that for like 9 or 10 years, starting when I was super young. And then there were a couple summers I had off where I drove the van for them around to the grocery stores, and their expired like desserts and breads and stuff they would donate. You know, it was Publix. And I pick all that, go do the rounds, and then bring them back to the pantry. They could distribute that. And I try, and I also, I think it's helped being the boss, is that like learn about, you know, the guys that are working for me. Because I could be like, man, I go to bed at 8 o'clock. I get up this time. I get to work so early. I could never be late and all that. And then I learn about their lives a little bit, you know. This guy doesn't have AC. He's taking care of his grandma. This other guy has 3 kids with, you know, he's not sleeping at the same place every night. Like, everyone got different circumstances. So, you know, I can't be, I I empathize with that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I hired these guys. So, like, I got your back. Like, you are my people. I like everyone here.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be like, oh, he's late all the time and that, and get. But then you kind of learn. And not everyone's circumstances are, you don't live like a robot like me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or have nothing, you know, everything in a line and, you know, no outside stresses on their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like I said, I got a lot of guys that didn't either maybe finished high school or maybe didn't. I don't think any college, usually like maybe my summer temporary guys, like that's why I lost a bunch today.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, two of these kids, super smart, that left yesterday. I wish they were twins. They got into Florida and they went to Florida State. Who does that?
Oh, they went to Florida State?
Yes. I'm like, oh, because they told me, oh, we're going to Florida State. I'm like, oh, you didn't get into Florida, huh? They're like, no, we got into Florida. I was like, huh? Fuck. And then there's another guy that I hired him. He played football in my area. He played football for Villanova. And I'm like, yeah, dude, these kids, they're going to Florida State. He's like, oh, they didn't get into Florida. I'm like, no, they did. He's like, why the fuck would you be going there then? I don't know.
So if you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Health for everyone in my family. Take the earth back, I don't know, several hundred years to the point where we don't have any pollution, at least a fresh start. And $100 billion.
$100 billion.
Yeah, or maybe 200 billion. Because then, you know, that would handle any other crap. Like, I want a super yacht and all that. But then I can also, you know, you could do world changing shit with $200 billion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that gives me like superpower. That's like adding 1,000 wishes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one thing you can't do is take the earth back to a point where we don't have any pollution. That'd be fucking crazy, man. I just imagine going out like in the intercoastal and how clean the water would be and how many fish there'd be. You know, or the blades. It would be awesome.
Yeah. Jerome, do you see yourself as someone who likes to achieve things just for the sake of achievement, or like, why do you go for achievements? What's your internal motivation?
Just progressing, you know, climbing the ladder at work, or like actually just threw away all the trophies I've won. The only one I'll keep is the very last one from any of the bodybuilding things.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I win another one, the next one, I'll probably throw that last one away.
Do you think you get caught up thinking in the future, or do you think you live in the moment more?
In the moment, with an eye towards the future. I mean, it's a generic answer, but no, because none of that shit's gonna happen in the future if you're not taking care of right now. Like, you got to put max effort in today for whatever shit you want in the future.
Hey, well said. Well said. All right, Jerome, we got your personality type, man. Okay. You actually are introverted, man. I thought maybe you were extroverted, to be honest, but you are actually introverted, man. We were able to figure that out because you are direct. So there's 2 different types of communication. There's informative language and there's direct. And direct language is specific, concise, and to the point. You're not beating around the bush. It's just like very easy to interpret what you're saying. Direct people generally feel better telling people what to do. It's more of a one up, one down type thing. And then there's informative language, which is like vague, wordy, beating around the bush, like likes to give people extra information, doesn't like to tell people what to do, kind of can be passive aggressive. So your language is direct, okay? And you're also progression, which means like your focus on things is the process. It's not the end product of things, but the process of like, how can you formulate the best process to do whatever you want. So like for you, life is about a journey and not about the destination. And I was able to really tell that when you like when I asked you, if you would start your life over, you said no. I wouldn't start my life over because it took everything to get to where I am today, and this is the best period of my life, and I needed that. So you're very journey focused, So with you being direct and journey focused, that automatically makes you an introvert. Like you were saying, automatically by far makes you an introvert, and you're an FE user, TI. So what that means is like TI is like you have a logical framework in your head, and everything has to make sense to you as a person. You don't really care so much about like external sources. It has to make sense to you. You're very good at picking up how other people feel and understanding other people. As opposed to somebody like myself, I'm really not that great at understanding people, or understanding like, their circumstances, or like, when you're talking about like when you hire people or whatnot, you don't know like what they're going through, or like this guy's going from couch to couch or anything like that. So you're a very empathetic person. You understand other people's emotions, and very family oriented as well. Very family oriented. You also like your freedom. Jerome's big on his freedom and his ability to choose. You don't want nobody to take away your freedom. That's something that motivates you as a human being. So with that being said, man, we got you as an ISTP, man. They call that the mechanic or whatnot. I think that one guy you were talking about earlier might also be an ISTP. What is his name? That linebacker for the Giants.
Taylor?
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor. I think he's actually ISTP as well. So that's kind of funny that you kind of could see like yourself in him, As ISTP, man, they can be, very into gambling, instant like gratification, drugs, shit like that. They could really spiral into that shit very hardcore. You gotta really stay away from that shit. But you found a way to like stop indulging in your what they would call NI, which is like they have a stereotype that you'll see like ISTP snorting coke off of a stripper in Las Vegas type shit. They're just like adrenaline junkies, like So yeah. Shelly, you got anything you want to say about ISTPs?
No, not really. Sorry.
No. What
Really
do you think? What do you think his Enneagram is?
I'm not sure, 7 or 3.
Yeah. I'm actually leaning 7 because Jerome doesn't seem so much as an achiever all the time. He seems to like just want to maintain what he has, and his gluttony, I'd say, is his sin more than 3, right? What are you thinking?
I think it's just like wing 2.
Yeah. I think it's 7 wing 8, maybe 7 wing 8, because he is like very protective of his friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So for your Enneagram, we got you as a 7, wing 8. So 7s, let me read this, pull out the book here. This paper. I thought maybe you were 3, but like 7s in general. The 7s are very practical, good at networking, and skilled at getting what they want and finding a good deal. They tend to be optimistic, self-interest, pragmatic, calculating, and clever. They readily recognize opportunities for creating an advantage for themselves. In this way, gluttony expresses itself an excessive concern with making a good deal at every opportunity. So you'll be a 7. They have a problem with hedonism. That's one of the big things, hedonism. Because it's like they focus on the pleasures of life, 7s are all about the pleasures of life and seeking that. I think it took a very long time for you to stop seeking the pleasures of life, but now you seek it in a different way, with the gym, and you do it in a positive way now. Instead of like, when you're younger, you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm gonna, have a good time, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want. You just indulging in too many pleasures of life. That's what 7s generally do. They indulge in the pleasures of life and find themselves in a lot of trouble. a lot of them don't make it out of the drugs, you know, and so for you to be able to turn your life around and give into the good pleasures like the gym and work and all of that stuff is a testament to who you are, man, and your great upbringing. You got any questions for us, Jerome?
No, but maybe I'll have you text me all those things so I can look into them a little bit, or show my wife.
yeah. Let me know, man.
Let her see. Like, oh yeah, oh definitely. Nope. No.
So ISTP, 7-wing-8. Yeah, man. Are you coming down for any of the games this year?
Definitely. I'm pretty excited for the season.
You know I got another room, man. So just come down, room with a bed, everything. So just let me know.
Actually today she's moving in their new house.
Yeah.
So I get to see them too. No, I'm definitely gonna come. I'm not sure what games yet, but I'll let you know.
All right. All right, Jerome. It's been a pleasure, my brother.
Hey, thanks. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.